So I get bombarded with this new propaganda on X, and I even saw a couple of articles where they're discussing the idea of pushing for European federalism. The concept is that if we do this, we stick it to the Americans. And it's absolutely hilarious because, number one, it's not going to actually happen. Like, there's no serious conversations about this. But the second issue is that the purpose of this propaganda is to legitimize the European Union as an actual nation state. The European Union is not a nation state. It is a trade agreement that was initially signed, and then it just got more and more bureaucratic powers assigned to it. But no one is going to die in a war for the European flag. Like, I don't see a Polish person going to war under the EU flag. No, like, people from Poland are going to go to war under the Polish flag. People from Bulgaria are going to go to war under the Bulgarian flag. But, like, no one is going to pledge allegiance to the EU flag. And they probably noticed that this is a problem that they have. Like, outside of Germany and maybe a couple of other nations, like, there's no patriotism towards the European Union. And they noticed this with my generation especially. We do not view the European Union the same way that Americans view America. And you can notice this when an American travels abroad and people ask them, where are you from? Well, they will say, I'm from America. Unless he's from Texas. Like, people from Texas will actually say, I'm from Texas. But you probably have noticed that, right? Same with people from China, same with people from Russia. When someone from the European Union travels abroad and people ask him, where are you from? They will never say, oh, I'm from the European Union. Like, no, they will say, I'm from Germany, or I'm from France, or I'm from Spain. And the reason for this is, well, the lack of patriotism. And in order to have patriotism, you need legitimacy. And the legitimacy is usually formed through blood. Like, in the case of the United States, through the American Revolution against the British, through the colonization of the land with blood and sweat. And then it's also through the tangible things that the American government gives to its people. Which, I don't know if Americans are aware, but life in the United States, even for people under welfare, is significantly more improved than, let's say, life in Africa. And so, this is how you build a nation state. The European Union absolutely adores propaganda. They love buzzwords. They love things like that. But on the ground level, when things happen, people don't say, oh, good things happen because of the European Union. Like, no, people will say good things happen because of the Polish government. Good things happen because of the French government. And it's usually good things happen because of my government, despite of what the European Union is trying to do. And what they're usually trying to do is to destroy the energy system through environmentalist policies. They try to destroy the social cohesion through progressive ideology. And most people notice this at a ground level. And so if you were to ask people to fight under an EU banner, most people won't. But they will fight under their nation state banner. And so this propaganda serves as a way to try to push people to think of the EU more and more as a nation state, rather than a trade agreement, or even like a political alliance, if you will. And they're trying to compare the EU with the United States, or they're trying to compare the EU with China. And I also love, like in the propaganda, like the EU is actually bigger than the US and China, even though like we don't have the Chinese industry and we don't have the American military. But yeah, we're pretty strong. We're big. Anyway. The question would be, could the European Union federalize? This is a question where you realize most empires fail to answer, and this is why most empires eventually fall. There is this thing that the further away you are from the capital, the less control the capital exerts on the marginal provinces. Basically, the messages travel slower, the decisions, they get overruled by the local bureaucracy, and so the larger an empire, the more difficult it is to control it. The only exception to this is federalization. So if you look at the United States, the reason it manages to have cohesion despite of all the problems is because the control is happening at the federal level, but also at the state level. And so the further away you go from Washington, you're still in America because you're still under the control of your state government. But in order for this to happen, you need a lot of tolerance. And so in the United States, you can have a place like Chicago or a place like San Francisco that differs widely in culture than some place like Texas. And so the government needs to have this level of tolerance where they allow extremely different levels of thinking between the states of the alliance. I don't see the European Union doing that. Like, the European Union is absolutely obsessed with people thinking the same. And you can see how butthurt they are over Hungary. I mean, they're even trying to now take away Hungary's right to vote, or they're trying to make it so that decisions can pass without unanimity from the member states. They cannot handle a single nation just having like its own different takes. And if the European Union was to have a constitution, I guarantee to you it would look nothing like the American Constitution. Like, the thing that I love about America is that they have a Bill of Rights, which basically prevents the lawmaker from having absolute power. The European Union would not be like that, and they would have like things very vague if they ever tried to pass a constitution. They simply like cannot comprehend the idea that, okay, well, Eastern Europe is like that, Western Europe is like this, like, we're not going to micromanage everything, but instead, like, we're going to just have a general rule, like a Bill of Rights, and either than that, every state should manage itself. You're not going to see that. Like, imagine the concept of the average citizen in the European Union actually voting for the position that Ursula von der Leyen has. Like, it's insane. The Europeans will never allow this. Look at how they're governing. Like, in the United States, you have two different parties, like, completely opposite to one another. You have the Democrats and the Republicans. In the European Union, you have, like, the correct way of thinking, which is pro-immigration, pro-environmentalism, and then you have an entire suppression apparatus that prevents any ideas from challenging this. And then they have an entire industrial censorship apparatus, like the Digital Service Act or other such nonsense, that's being used in order to crack down on any dissenting opinions. And so parties that, even though they may be like the second largest in the nation state, like the AFD or Marine Le Pen's party, are completely being delegitimized, and they have a cordon sanitaire around them. Like, you're telling me that this political institution would be fine with the AFD governing for 4 years and then, you know, having another transfer of power and having the CDU back in charge? It will never happen. Like, these people would implode. That they can't even conceive the notion of, like, having their opposition actually gaining power and governing for a finite amount of time. Like, they would go down kicking and screaming. I don't blame them, though. Like, a European MP makes around 10,000 euros a month. Like, I wouldn't want to lose my job with that, right? So, censorship is required. And again, look at how they're governing with fear. Like, 10 years ago, if you were with the AFD, you were a racist, pro-fascist, Nazi, blah, blah, blah. Now, if you're with the AFD, you're pro-Russian. So, like, there's always a fear-mongering. There's always a problem with the anti-establishment parties. And it's kind of hilarious because calling the AFD pro-Russian when Germany used to have a massive pipeline from the Russian Federation all the way to the German industry, and then they decided to shut down their nuclear reactors, and that was under the CDU and the SPD, and you're telling me that, yes, like, these people are really against the Russians. They even laughed at Donald Trump, by the way, when Donald Trump was pointing this out. It's like, how can you be in NATO, which is an anti-Russian alliance, while you're taking your energy from the Russians? But yeah, so, no, they're never going to be able to create the democratic European Federation. Like, it will never happen. Because they don't want to, for it to happen. Like, even if every single citizen in the European Union would actually like to have the American system imported in the EU. And now you have, like, the EU president, and you have, like, the EU Supreme Court, and you have, like, all these nations with their representatives in the House. They will never do it, because they would lose a lot of power. And they would lose a lot of control. No, like, what they are doing is, like, they're going to promote diversity, inclusivity, and equity for the masses, and quote-unquote unity for the political class. Unity under Brussels. And you're going to see both of these propaganda circulating at the same time, probably in the next couple of weeks, where the European Union is stronger united and federation is actually weakening. That's what you're going to see. Both of these propagandas running side by side. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.